and welcome to the Special Needs Social TV channel. This is a community-driven live TV channel that aims to provide information and understanding about our differently abled community, as well as those that live with disabilities, visible or invisible. And on today's show, we're going to introduce you to Dr. Jane White, and we'll be talking about adult autism and entrepreneurship. So don't go away. We will be
Hi, Brigetti. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. We've got some technical difficulties. There's a bit of a lag. Everyone's been experiencing some technical difficulties because I think we have never seen so many people online at the same time. And so I am seeing people everywhere having issues with this. So welcome back. If you've just joined us, I am your host, Brigetti Limbanda. I'm a confidence coach, a talk show host, producer, and live streaming advocate. I also advocate for responsible streaming. On this show, we focus on conversations that matter in the special needs and disabilities world, and we hope to inspire, encourage, and provide you with useful information. Today, we're Jane White about adult autism and entrepreneurship. And my amazing co-host is Mary Elizabeth, author of the children's food leadership series. She's also a wife and mother of three young children that inspire her. She's a special needs and disability advocate and lives in Nashville in the USA, and I'm in Cape Town in South Africa. So do let us know where you're joining us from. Mary, welcome to the
Absolutely.
show.
Hi. Yeah, we are. We've got some gremlins with us today, don't we? So, and I've noticed that, when we've been on at night trying to watch stuff, and like even yesterday watching church, the streaming was very slow and kept glitching because so many people are on. I mean, there's millions of more people on live and on the internet than there normally is. So the internet's probably crying right now. Please, please give me a break.
I know, right? I don't think there's ever been a time. I mean, everyone's had to move online with physical distancing. We're now
Yeah.
having to do everything online. So we're talking to each other socially online. We're all doing business online or trying to do business online. There's conferences, in-person conferences that has been canceled due to the coronavirus. So conferences have moved online.
Mhm.
And I don't think the internet was ready for all of this.
No, absolutely not. And even in my husband's office, and I know we want to bring Jane on because we're so excited to have her on, but at my husband's office, there's a very limited amount of people who are going into work. And even when they're doing their meetings, they're in their own office online doing a Zoom, and then everybody's in their own offices. They're not even meeting in the conference rooms anymore.
Yeah. That's absolutely the way to go. If we want to flatten the curve, as they say, we have to absolutely do physical distancing. So Dr. Jane White has got extensive experience in the healthcare field. She's been a senior executive over operations and administration and has worked as a medical doctor doing contracting, portable medicine, and financial management of medium to large organizations. Dr. White's professional knowledge is extensive and varied, ranging from the management of managed care facilities to hospital, nursing homes, clinics, retirement communities, and more. And she's currently retired and working on ministries. Shall we bring her in? I'm so grateful that we can talk to Dr. White today
Mhm.
because there's so many things we overlook with the coronavirus. And the autism community will be affected by this. So, everyone's looking for tips and tricks of how to deal with different situations. We specifically around entrepreneurship and adult autism today. So, shall we invite
Yes, absolutely. I can't wait to talk to her.
Hello.
Hi, how are you? We're so excited you're here today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, thank you for joining us. And yeah, so we want to kind of just get right into talking and asking you, we've got some questions to ask and you've got some awesome answers and we want to share the world with you. Share you with the
Yes.
world.
Yeah.
So I want to know, because you and I have gotten to know each other a little bit. Oh, go ahead, Brigetti. I know it's a little bit lag.
No, it's fine. Go ahead. I'm just seeing an incredible lag. So I think we're just going to have to try and catch up with each other.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think we want to just start off by asking you about, what we want you to tell everybody about your work in the autism, community, because you and I met at an autism resource event. And so you have a love for the autism community. So what inspired you to create your center that you have?
Okay. The way we started the Entrepreneur Center, myself and three other ladies in my church, the AME church, we have extensive experience and we also have members that has autism. And we were trying to figure out how to help our community with getting jobs and creating new businesses and how we can take our experiences and share it with the community because my one partner's in computers, the others in industrial doing buildings, building offices, and myself, I'm in healthcare, and we just decided, oh, and the other lady is in finance. So we said, well, we have everything that it takes to start a business. We can take our experience and share it with the community, and that's how we got started to set up the Entrepreneur Center. And I live in a very wealthy community. And so a lot of times in those communities, the ones that's just unfortunate, does not have a lot of funds, they usually get left out in wealthy communities. So we wanted to reach those who's in need to start their business and having difficulties with startup funds and with startup resources. So that's basically how we got started.
Very nice.
It's amazing how we have similarities all over the world, no matter where we are. It's usually, and things like the coronavirus, for example, now. events highlight the differences between the communities that have got access to funding and those that don't.
Correct.
And those that don't are often the ones that need it the most and they get left behind. And so
Correct.
creating awareness is so super important so we can help people who have the funds directed in the right direction.
Correct. And I also had a builder reaching out to me, changing my focus from starting entrepreneurship for everybody, just changing the focus to autism because he grew up and he had a time struggling with concentrating and focusing. And then he realized eventually he got diagnosed with autism. And then he realized that he needs to also reach out to the community and help those families. So he is willing to put his money into the focus of helping autism families setting up their own business. So that's where our focus have gone to now.
That's wonderful.
And that's
That is
how I
amazing.
met Mary. Yes,
Yes, that's how we met, actually, was at an autism resource
correct,
event. And I was just so
correct.
fascinated by what she was doing and just thought it was so wonderful. Um, and I think there's such a need for it. It is a specific niche, but that's wonderful because you're offering and you are filling a need that is definitely there, I believe. We have a family here in town that owns deli meats. Like it's he's called G's Meats, and they have a son who is autistic, and he works for them. So they've helped him. It's wonderful. I mean, he works with his family, and it's very empowering for the whole family. And it's wonderful
Yeah,
because it helps him to have that sense of, hey, I've got power, I've got control, I can do something, and I can be contributing to the world and others. And there's just so many different levels that can be helpful with being able to help people on the various ends of the spectrum with all this.
yes, and definitely to start up autism as a business. I mean, autism family helping them to start up a business is very difficult because there's so many challenges for that family. And it's going to take a whole family to start the business because that will help progress the business further instead of just one person doing it.
Hmm.
So tell us about your center, Jane, and the services that you are able to offer to families with autism that want to get into entrepreneurship.
Okay, what our center is currently offering is to any family that has that need, and we can help them set up a business. If they're not sure about the business, we have 5 steps that classes that we offer that will take them through each class. And by the end of the fifth class, they would know if they want to start up a business. And then after they decide they want to start up the business, then we have another series of classes that take them from the beginning of startup, what they have to have in place, what forms they have to fill out for the if it's a nonprofit or for profit, which way they need to go. So we have several classes that take them through every step of a startup business, and then we follow them for at least 2 years until they become successful.
Oh, that's nice. So
Yeah,
they
and
are
then
able
I
to
really
connect with
like
you.
that. I really like that
Yeah, that's wonderful. So you don't just kind of go, here,
because,
do
a
this, and
lot of
then throw them
people,
out.
no, we have actually all the resources that we can give them to start up, to do the startup. I'm also a SCORE mentor and a volunteer. So SCORE has all that information on webinars and seminars that's basically free. As a SCORE mentor, I can mentor them through every step with the resources from SCORE organization.
Wonderful.
So for instance, if somebody wants to open up a pediatric clinic, I can take them from the step all the way down to it's open, and then follow them for another year, and I'll be their advisor or their mentor till they completely successful after 2 years or even up to 3 years. If they want to continue mentoring with me, it's up to them. They have that choice to make.
That's a very unique service because, a lot of people will may offer services to help them to a point where they get started. But it's like driving a car. When you at the point when you get your driver's license is when you only really at that point really start to become responsible and get into the nuts and bolts of driving. Your The point where you get handed your license is just a point. It's not an end point. With this sort of thing,
Correct.
that hand holding is
Correct. And also we're setting a long retreats for autism families. We set up retreats. I also set up a ministry, and where I can do retreats for businesses and organizations and churches, and to help them with any kind of topic that they want to address, from worship to healthcare to wellness to finance. Everything I can cover at the retreat, and especially for those families.
That's wonderful. So, and you are going to partner with
so
Autism Tennessee, and you're going to partner with Autism Tennessee, and there are some of us other folks that are going to partner together with you to kind of create this really great environment um, for families to be able to have some self-care and to learn things about taking better care of themselves, and just different tools they can use for them and the family as well. And it's a no small feat to kind of pull something off like that, but it is great to be able to have those partnerships to provide the services that will be needed for it, and because you've got to find the space, and then you've got to find the help, and there's just a lot to it. But it's a great idea, because parents of children with any varying disabilities, it always creates a lot more challenge for them in life.
Correct. Lots of challenges because they require a lot of more resources than just the average startup business. So
Mhm.
then you have to make sure that you can take them through step by step and provide the resources for them until they're ready to get go with their business.
Right.
and realistically, how long is this process from the time where you start consultation to where people can make an informed decision as to will they do they want to proceed or not? How long is that realistically, or is it dependent on the family's circumstances?
Well, it's 5 classes that they take, and it's they can take it on their own. So as fast as they want to take it, if they want to take 5 weeks, then if they make a decision they want to get going, then they we can get them ready to the next step. If they want to take 6 months to review the classes and make a decision, it all depends how long the family wants to review it and see are they really ready to do this type of business they have come up with. So it's basically upon the family to decide. And then once they're
Okay, so
ready,
it's not a
then it
one size fits all.
correct, correct. So they can do it on their own time till they get ready. And we work with their time. It's no rush. We just make sure we check in on them to see what classes they have completed. Because we know what classes they completed because we meet with them during those classes and we offer the classes to them. So it's basically
So do you
how
focus
long they
on
want to take or how quick they want to take. Yeah.
do you focus on any sort of particular business types that you recommend to families, or would you simply go along with their ideas and be the facilitator?
I will just go along with their ideas. My job as a mentor is just to listen to them and provide the resources and guide them, and until making sure they make the decision that they want to start up this business. And then once they sure, and I will throw out questions out to them to so that they can think about why they want to start up these business. Every decision they make or whatever they give back to me, I will question it to make sure I keep them on the right track and let them think, is this really a good idea?
And then, do you also assist them when it comes to the financial planning of their business, or is that something they have to do separately?
No, we will assist them from the beginning to the end. We have all the classes for them in each area. If they have to do a financial planning, we have give them the tools and forms to fill it out and guide them through the process all the way till where they want to get started. Setting it up, from setting up to implementing, we will help them.
Right. If you're out there and you're a family that's affected this situation, then you are definitely encouraged to Jane White and get some advice. Now, we live in an unusual time period at the moment with this. Can you about how people can, is it different for anyone in the autism community? How do they deal with being shut off? Do you have any advice for people?
Being shut off during the coronavirus. Can you repeat that question again?
Yeah, I think she wants to
Sorry, we've
ask
got
you
a
about,
terrible lag.
yes. I think what she wants to ask you, what she's trying to ask is, what advice do you have for families right now who are going through, because we're all going through this, but families that are at home and they have children that have varying degrees of autism and on the spectrum and things like that. I mean, I know I do in my house. So, I know how it's very challenging for some folks. So we're just kind of curious your viewpoint and take on all of this
Yeah.
and what's your best advice.
Okay. Okay. Well, during this time, I know it's very important. Families just need to make sure that they have activities for the kids to do during this process. There's a lot of people coming online now telling families how to keep the kids busy, entertain them in the house, because I think they can go out in the community. So you have to be creative. And some lady was talking about uh, let them do art on the wall, put some paper, take your bathroom wall that's over the tub, put some paper on there and tape the paper and let the kids do some art on it. One lady was talking about a plastic tub, put some ice in it and let the kids do some art in it. So there's different activities that you can find to keep the kids busy, but make sure that you practice, safety, like washing hands. And if somebody has a cold make sure you get them symptoms check out. A lot of times they won't communicate. They can't communicate to you how they feel. So you just have to observe and making sure that you watch them constantly and making sure that you reach out to your medical provider.
I think that's really great advice,
And Mary knows well about it. She's doing that every day. So I'm sure Mary can give some more input into that.
Mary, I think your microphone is muted, so we can't hear you.
Okay, yep, it was. Sorry. Okay, so I'm talking to myself. No, I'm kidding. Yes. So yeah, I did that because somebody upstairs is very exuberant. He's probably jumping on the trampoline and
Yeah.
watching, the and playing on the Xbox. So, yeah, I was just thinking this morning because we took the last week off because it was our spring break, and now it's Monday, and so we need to start back with school, and how to juggle keeping a child, whether you have one or you have three, keeping them busy and then still trying to do work. It's for some people, they're probably going to pull their hair out and be bald by the time this whole situation is over with. But I know I was thinking to myself, it really requires it requires planning if you want to be successful, taking some time. And I was sitting here thinking to myself this morning, okay, I need to write things out because I don't have a son who can sit and color for hours. I don't have a son who can sit and put beads on a wire. You know what I mean? So I can get a break from it. He's like a pinball game, bing, bing, bing. I mean, his brain soaks it up. He wants the next thing. His brain soaks it up. He wants the next thing.
Yes.
So we have to kind of go into overtime. So it does create its own challenges of trying not to get yourself worn out.
Correct.
And stay mentally, because we as parents, we are trying to keep up the mental health and well-being, not only for ourselves and our spouses, if we have one, or a relative that's living with us, but also for our children, because I have two older ones, and they're having a hard time with all of this.
Correct. Yes, this is definitely a hard time, especially for the children.
Yes.
And the adults also.
Let's just hope we all like each other when it's done, right?
It's definitely a challenging time.
Yeah. So we don't put for sale signs on our kids and set them out on the street, right? No, I'm kidding.
So we'll just have to find ways to accommodating each person in the household.
Yes, we do. Everybody has to be nice. Say it with a smile, even if you're mad.
I know.
I'm so grateful. How can people find you? Oh, what'd they say? Can she hear me?
Okay.
Okay. How can people find you?
Okay. They can go currently, they can reach out to me on my email, janewhite55@gmail.com. They can call me on the phone, 615-566-4646, or they can also go to my ministry's website, janewhitemdministries.com, and send me a email from there, or a message, or there's a phone number on there that they can reach out to me too.
Okay, awesome. So, well, I think we're just about done here, and we'd like to have you back on when maybe all the circuits are working better.
Definitely. Thank you. I will definitely like to come back. Appreciate it.
We're so grateful you're here. And so anybody out there who is interested in entrepreneurship, something for their family, their child, and their family, reach out to Dr. Jane. She's in the Nashville area, and she'd be more than happy to help you.
Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.